And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net, should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our QSO-VLOG network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the QSO-VLOG network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 1,900 QSO-VLOG Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of average peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, a local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. In addition to the 3, 2 of them may be rotated. They are selected by a 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA-5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a a very conflicting time in America's history with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters, and through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, this is an area of the band where they have many nets trying to operate in a very confined area. I would appreciate all stations checking into our QSO-VLOG net to keep your bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. Again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GCL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy? Yes, Jim, I sure do. I'm peaking you 10 to 20 over 9 direct, as I have no capability of an SDR. But you're 20 over 9 on peaks direct. Terrific signal. Beautiful day up here. Got up to 53, and it's 52 degrees. And low of 29 this morning with moderate frost. Yesterday morning, 23 degrees with heavy frost. And a high yesterday of 51. The normal low is 28, and the normal high is 54 on this date. So I do have Captain Mike on here. I picked him up in northern Indiana near Fort Wayne, and he was doing a beautiful job on 40. Then I talked to him at 37,000 feet. As he got further east, then he went up to 39,000. It was raining very hard in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Well, he passed right over Pittsburgh and worked WA30 down below. And I said to Mike, I said, what is the height of the rain clouds below you? What is the very height? And then he says, they're at 34,000 feet. So I'm looking well down on top of them. I'm looking down on top of them. And I worked them just east of Pittsburgh. Then I worked them on the ground. Anyway, that was too long a one. Back to you, Jim, and Captain Mike. I've got a good recording of them right here on 40, upper sideband, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. I'm copying you 20 over on the Milford SDR, so roll tape.
On the Milford SDR, so roll tape. Okay, and here he is.
Well, Whiskey Charlie with Whiskey Alpha 3 Oscar. We're at 37,000 just over Fort Wayne, Indiana, showing about 450 knots right now, Charlie, with a 30 knot headwind here. And again, we're just under 500 miles from Philly. ETA into Philadelphia is 1750. That's 150 your time, Charlie. And the temp up here this morning is minus 40 degrees here. And smooth, so good copy on both of you, and I'm glad to hear you're hearing Mike over there in Pittsburgh. He's about to head out to Weirton here in about 45 minutes or so. WA30 from KX4 Whiskey Charlie. Better for you over there without that line noise, I suppose, on 40 there. So anyway, yeah, great copy, and looks like we're in for some gusty winds there. They're saying it's about 090 at 17 knots, gusting to 29 into Philly, so should be a fun landing into Philly there. But the winds are straight up the runway there, so it doesn't really pose much of a problem there. But I'm not sure how far that is from. Let's see, we're only about that's about 120 miles from you there, Mike, from Monroeville. And anyway, over to you, K1GZL from KX4 Whiskey Charlie. There go, Charlie. Yeah, on the ramp here, Charlie, at 1750 at 150 Eastern, and we are upper sideband 40 years. You're 5950 now. We're facing to the south this time, so we don't have as good a location facing you there, Charlie, but you're 5-9. I'll copy, over. Well, I'm going to have to leave here, Charlie, but I'll be listening for you there tonight, and hope you feel better. And careful up there on any ladders or anything there. I don't know if you're planning on doing anything out there today, but anyway, we'll be listening for you later on this evening. K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie.
Okay, here we go.
KX4 Whiskey Charlie on the ramp, Philadelphia, upper side band, 40 meters, 5-9 Charlie, K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie.
Okay, Jim, I was a little bit too long on that, but it'll give you an idea of what communications were right here on 40, right on 40 meters, and we were on upper sideband because their transmitters, Collins equipment, will not work lower. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, gosh, the best quality yet in those recordings. I think just everything was just absolutely beautiful. Couldn't have been a better recording, Roger.
Couldn't have been a better recording, Roger.
Well, thank you very much for that report. All it is just a little cassette recording and going through the 7300. The 7300. And I have to thank Jim, WA3FET, for making this possible. I owe him a lot. And he did a wonderful job of getting that started because originally the 7300 you could not play back over the air. You could only play it back on a card and hear it in the shack. And Jim told me, he said, well, that's got to stop. I think we can fix that. And he did. Okay, Jim, I won't hold you any long. I'll see you probably in 2 weeks. And it's always a pleasure working you, but you were doing a great job. Direct in here. So I'll sign, and thank you so much for letting me come up aboard. Eventually, I'd like to know how many of these transmissions I've made with you. I figure somewhere from 80 to 110, but I don't know. I have no way of adding it up. KC9VKV, there goes my voice, K1GZL. Always a pleasure, Jim, and good luck with everything.
Roger, Charlie, 73 up that way, sir. And what you could do is go to YouTube and do a call it a search for K1GZL, and that should bring them all up. Yeah, and I know you have to go down the hill to find somebody that has a computer, internet. Just go there and go to YouTube and do a call letter search for your K1GZL, and they should all come up there, Roger.
K1GZL, and they should all come up there, Roger.
Okay, I'd have to go through every one of them, or can the number come up?
No, well, they would all be there. You just, I guess you'd have to count them. I've never looked at it that way, Roger.
No, I've never looked at it that way, Roger.
Okay, really fine. Boy, I got a ladybug crossing right in front on my 7300. Ye gods, I have a lot of those around here. 73, and we'll see you at K1GZL. We are clear.
Roger, Charlie, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. And this is KC9VKV. Just a reminder, this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. My name is Jim. Better known in some circles as Dr. VKV, and we're recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout, and we'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, along with today's date, 10/29/21, and that will bring you to this recording. And if you just do a call letter search for KC9VKV without the date, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll be looking at over 1,900 QSO-VLOG recordings. So this is the Friday afternoon nut. And if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 8th, Bravo, Charlie, Oscar.
November 8 station, come back slowly with your call sign, please.
Come back slowly with your call sign, please.
Okay, Jim, the call here is November 8 Bravo, Charlie Oscar. We talked last week, and I was about 150 hertz high, if I recall, and had to figure out how to lower it. I'm just wondering if I improved my signal any.
Oh, yes, sir, you're dead on. Now, how did you do that?
Oh, yes, sir, you're dead on. Now, how did you do that?
Well, I went in the FT1000MP has part of a menu where I can actually lower the lower sideband carrier by 150 hertz, and that's what I did.
Wow, that's beautiful. As far as I know, you're just absolutely dead on. Sound perfect, Roger.
You're just absolutely dead on. Sound perfect, Roger.
Boy, have you made my day, Jim. Like I said, I haven't played with this radio long enough to learn it. I sure appreciate your input. Glad to hear that it sounds like something I can be proud to put on the air. And BCO.
Roger. Come back one more time with your call sign slowly, phonetically, please, and the name.
With your call sign slowly, phonetically, please, and the name.
Okay, the call is November 8th, Big Clumsy Ox, a.k.a. Bravo, Charlie Oscar.
Oh, yeah, and what was the name, I'm sorry?
His name is Ron.
Yes, Ron, and you're in let's see, where are you located? You're in 9-land, or 8-land, where are you located?
9-land, or 8-land, where are you located?
Okay, we're in north central Ohio, about 60 miles north of the center of the state.
Alrighty, and that radio, that was a 1000 MP?
That radio, that was a 1000 MP?
Mark 5 field, yes, sir.
Roger, sounds beautiful. You shouldn't have had that frequency problem to begin with, but it's amazing that you were able to negotiate an answer, Roger.
You were able to negotiate an answer, Roger.
It's got its own learning curve, Jim, and I guess being retired for so many years, I've got those are brain teasers I don't mind attacking, and I'm just tickled I found it.
Yes, sir. Well, saves having to take it down to have it shipped off somewhere and, be without it for maybe months, maybe even longer, So good going there, Ron. 73, sir. Thanks for dropping by. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, and we are listening.
9, Victor, Kilo Victor, and we are listening.
Kilo Charlie 9, Hotel Yankee Lima.
Kilo Charlie 9 station, come back with a call sign again.
Kilo Charlie 9 station, come back with a call sign again.
Kilo Charlie 9, Hotel Yankee Lima, KC9VKV.
Roger, sir, and what's the name there?
Roger, sir, and what's the name there?
Name is Jerry. We're located in southeast Indiana.
Roger, Jerry. Whereabouts in southeast Indiana?
Roger, Jerry. Whereabouts in southeast Indiana?
A little place called Milan. It's just west of Cincinnati, Ohio, about 35 miles.
Roger. I'm copying you through Milford. Let me see if I can copy you on my local antenna. Come back if you would, and maybe give me 10 or 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system.
Good afternoon to you, Jim, and we're playing a off-center. No, I'm not on an off-center pad right now. I'm on a, shucks, can't even say what the name of it is. It is a fan dipole. Got 40 meters, 75, and 160 meters on it. It's about 35 feet in the air. Over.
Oh, yes, sir. You got a beautiful copy. You're on all three of my 10-foot magnetic loop antennas. Right now I'm copying you best on the 134-degree mag loop. It looks to be about maybe 15 over, Roger.
Okay, I've got about 20 over on you, and I know you're in Indiana, too. You told me before when we spoke, but I forgot the location.
Roger, now, just review if you would be interested in a setup procedure. It starts with your compressor being engaged at a 3, Roger?
Okay, it's already done. I think I've got it all set up right. I just haven't had it
connected for a while, and I did change the microphone, but if it sounds okay, that's fine. I don't need a lot of technical changes into it unless it needs it.
Roger that. Well, gosh, sounds pretty good. Always, when you change mics, you need to go back to your ALC to verify that you're mid-scale to 2/3, because there's seldom two mics that are output the same, and that you work them the same, you know. So always, when you change mics, go back to your ALC and make sure it's mid-scale to 2/3 as you speak rapidly with mic gain in hand to adjust it. Roger?
Okay, well, it's kind of hard to do on this rig. It's a 10-tech Orion, and it just has a flashing light for the ALC, and it's flashing intermittently, so hopefully I've got it pretty close.
Oh, Roger. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like about 3 dB dynamic range, which is what we are looking for. So, gosh, let's see, and what radio was that?
It is a 10-tech Orion. It's probably 20 years old or so, maybe more.
Sounds really good. Does sound really good, Jerry. So thanks for dropping by, sir. And like I say, just, get the duct tape out, buddy.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Jim. You have a great weekend, and hope to catch you again one of these days. 73 KC9VKV. Have fun.
Roger, HYL 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
Whiskey 4, Mike, Delta. Whiskey 4, Mike, Delta.
Roger, Whiskey 4, Mike, Delta. This is KC9VKV.
Mike Delta, this is KC9VKV.
Roger. The name here is Matt. Mike Alpha Tango. Central Virginia. The radio here is a Kenwood TS590 Sugar Golf.
TS590, what was the letters after that?
TS590, what was the letters after that?
SG, Sugar Golf.
Sugar Bravo, Roger?
Sugar Bravo, Roger?
Negative. TS590 Sugar Golf. SG.
I'm sorry. Well, anyway, I'm not catching that last letter, but we'll worry about that. Let's see, and you're in Virginia, so that's Foreland, and I'm on my Foreland. I have this this new item on the in the studio. It's a RF region detector. It's a map of the United States broken into call letter number regions, and so gosh, it's got some LEDs in it, and so I'm trying to keep up just to show where the different regions are as folks check in, along with everything else that I'm doing. So sometimes it's one of those things, but gosh, Matt, let me see if I can get a better copy on you, sir. Right now I'm on Rochester. If you would, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system.
10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system.
Roger. The antenna system is a Buckmaster 10 through 40. That's a Buckmaster 10 through 40, and it's up approximately 25 feet as an inverted V. And that's a Buckmaster antenna 10 through 40, set up approximately 25 foot as inverted V.
Roger, Matt, and I have my Milford SDR back up. It had been SD kicked off there for a little bit. They about every 20 minutes they do something that I have to reload there. The first thing I noticed is that maybe on your mic you might need a foam windscreen, because I did detect a few plosives there. So if you get by your local music store or however, they're about $4 or $5. A foam windscreen that you can just slip over that mic will take care of all of those sounds that you don't want to transmit, Roger.
All of those sounds that you don't want to transmit, Roger.
Roger, Roger. The microphone here is a MC60. That is the Kenwood Mike Charlie 60.
Roger, Roger. Now, does it have a windscreen?
Roger, Roger. Now, does it have a windscreen?
Negative. This mic did not come with a windscreen. This mic did not come with a windscreen.
Roger, Roger, Matt. Well, they're, like I said, they're about $4 or $5. You can go to your local music store there and, pick one up in all different colors, whatever color you might fancy using. They come in multicolors, slip right over the front, and they just filter out everything but the words, Roger.
The front, and they just filter out everything but the words, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Well, thank you.
I tried going up to my Milford SDR, and I didn't copy you there. I don't know exactly why that is, but tell me the best thing you like about your radio, and let me see if I can get you on Milford.
The best thing you like about your radio, and let me see if I can get you on Milford.
I just enjoy my brother's a ham as well. He has the 7300, and I ended up with the Kenwood TS590. Really for no particular reason, but besides liking the Kenwood product. All my HTs are not all of them, but 90% of them are Kenwood. So I just decided to go with the Kenwood TS590 and have been enjoying its features ever since the purchase 3 years ago.
Roger, Matt. Well, I'd just forego going to Milford. You were just sounding so good on Arlington. And you might know that Arlington is probably the only SDR receiver that I've run across that is full frequency down to 100 cycles. The rest of these SDRs want to roll out at about 250 cycles, 300 cycles, somewhere in there. But the Arlington SDR takes it down to 100 cycles on the bottom end, and your signal is just very broad and very balanced. Roger.
Very broad and very balanced. Roger.
Roger. I have a hand microphone here. Would you like me to try that just for the heck of it, or is it just go with your advice and grab a foam screen?
Oh, I would go with the foam screen, so that you're just perfect. I'm just talking about an occasional plosive or something that, it would be better not to have that. And for $4, you just solve the problem. You can use that mic that you're using anyway then after you get that foam windscreen on, Roger.
Using anyway then after you get that foam windscreen on, Roger.
Roger. Thank you so much. My brother actually, I think he spoke with you at one time. You helped him set up his radio. His call sign is W3JFD. Roger.
I'm not sure that I recall that. We are right now at about 1,900 QSO-VLOG recordings, Roger.
About 1,900 QSO-VLOG recordings, Roger.
Roger. Well, thank you for all your radio expertise. Thank you very much.
Roger, Matt. My pleasure, sir. 73, and thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance to join us next Friday, we'd love to hear you. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Charlie 9, Lima Charlie. November X-ray.
Kilo Charlie 9. What was the rest?
Charlie 9. What was the rest?
Yeah, thanks. Kilo Charlie 9, Lima Charlie.
Kilo Charlie 9, Lima Charlie. Roger, Roger. I think I have you, and I have you in Nineland. What radio are you running, and what's the name?
Have you in Nineland? What radio are you running, and what's the name?
Yeah, well, good afternoon. Name here is Randy, Radio Alpha November Delta Yankee, and located in Virginia. Actually, it's a summer place for us. If you're looking at a call book, look up, it'll show Florida. But the rig is a Aircheck K3, and I just have a couple of weeks ago, and got in down yet, but trying to check things out for trying to check things out for the contest this weekend. Yeah, so how's the audio setup sound? Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Well, I have somebody running some kind of QRM device on the frequency. I don't know exactly why they would want to do that, but you never can tell about people. Some people have very limited utilization of their thought processes, and so we'll just work through that. Randy, I'm copying you on the Arlington, Virginia SDR, full frequency SDR, and why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me the thing you like best about your radio. What is the name of your radio?
Thing you like best about your radio. What is the name of your radio?
Yeah, the radio is the Aircheck K3, and I guess the thing I like best about it is I assembled the radio, and I know just about where everything, if I still remember where everything is inside of it in case I ever have to work on it again, but fairly easy to use and seems to be consistent.
Roger, Roger. Now, you're very broad spectrum audio on the through the middle to the bass, but you're lacking a little bit in the top end. So if you know where your EQ is, go to your EQ, and we want to punch up plus 3 clicks treble boost. Roger.
Plus 3 clicks treble boost. Roger.
Okay, how's that? There's a little more treble boost to it, and I've got the Heil microphone. I forget what the number is on it, but it's on the wide setting, so I'll try the narrow setting and see. Anyway, I dialed up a little bit more treble. How's that sound?
Yes, I'm listening to the jammer. I don't know why somebody would, you just wonder what possesses somebody to do that. There's no reward for it unless maybe somebody's paying them to interfere. I don't know. It's just strange. Anyway, I want to try to copy you on my local antenna. If you'd give me about 10 more seconds of verbiage, Roger.
Seconds of verbiage, Roger.
I guess amateur radio. I guess my particular things I like rag chewing, DX, and contests. Not necessarily in that order. And there's a big contest coming up this weekend. So yeah, I like those aspects, and also some of the building, some of the kit building, and of course I said I built this Aircheck K3 from a kit. So back there to you. Go ahead.
Okay, I think I've pretty much analyzed the problem. What I want you to do is go through our setup procedure, if you would. It starts with our compressor engaged at a 3. In compressor on and add a 3. Roger?
A 3. In compressor on and add a 3. Roger?
Okay, the Aircheck, I'm running it at right now 24 is the setting. So as far as the 3 goes, do you mean like 3 o'clock on the setting?
Let's say 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Does your escutcheon go to 100 on that input level?
Does your escutcheon go to 100 on that input level?
It goes to 40. It goes to 40. So right now I'm on 24 out of 40.
All right, so 20 would be half. We're looking for a third of its capabilities, so 15. Put it on a 15, Roger, Roger.
15. Put it on to 15, Roger, Roger.
Okay, there it is. It's on the 15 point, and I'm barely getting on my meter. It just barely flickers, so it's got a little compression in there, but not a ton of it. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what we want. And now go to your ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust the ALC as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300. Adjust the ALC to mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC by way of mic gain control.
Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC by way of mic gain control.
Okay, there's about 2/3 right there on the mic gain control. 2/3 is 40 out of 60, I think, on the scale. How's that sound?
Roger. Now, I'm not talking about mic gain. I'm talking about bring your ALC meter up, and you have mic gain to adjust. And as you speak rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust the mic gain until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, I got you. All right, I brought the ALC meter up and bring it down to right about, hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that looks like that's about 2/3 of the full deflection.
Roger, that's pretty close. So, the reason that you speak rapidly when you're doing that is to get that meter up to where you can read it. If you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, if your cadence is that slow, the meter never gets up to accurately reflect what's happening. So if you're going 100, 200, 300, 400, the meter is up and you can accurately see what it's reading, Roger?
Meter is up and you can accurately see what it's reading, Roger?
QSO, I understand.
All right, so tell me, if you would now, about 10 seconds, 15, about your antenna system.
If you would now, about 10 seconds, 15, about your antenna system.
Okay, the antenna is a vertical high-gain, multi-band vertical. It's whatever these things are, 29 feet or something like that. It's got 5-band trap. I'm going to dig some little trenches and full of put the backyard full of some more copper. Go ahead.
Roger. Okay. Now, how much trouble do you have left? Do you have quite a bit of treble EQ left?
Okay. Now, how much trouble do you have left? Do you have quite a bit of treble EQ left?
Yes, I do. It's about 2/3 right now.
All right, take it on up about halfway what you have left. About halfway to what you have left, Roger.
Halfway to what you have left. About halfway to what you have left, Roger.
Okay, there it is. This is KC9LC doing an audio setup. How does that sound now? This treble is about at the 80% level.
Yeah, I think we're much better now. You have some articulation. You have a very broad curve, your audio curve, and you have a nice top end for articulation. Roger, Roger?
Curve, and you have a nice top end for articulation. Roger, Roger?
Okay, I'm going to switch over to the narrow. What you think about the DX that's setting on this microphone and just see what you think about that.
Okay, I was moving around trying to find a better signal, but repeat your last.
Okay, I was moving around trying to find a better signal, but repeat your last.
For the DX contest, go ahead.
I'm sorry, we doubled. I was looking around for better contact. Repeat your last transmission.
I was looking around for better contact. Repeat your last transmission.
Yeah, I just changed the microphone setting from the wide on the Heil to the narrow, and this is the more DX focused microphone setting, and it has a little more punch to the audio. So how does that sound just in a regular conversation? Go ahead.
All right, just out of curiosity, can you get to that switch fairly easily, and you could do something, say, at a 10 count, at 5, you could switch from one to the other?
Say, at a 10 count, at 5, you could switch from one to the other?
Yep, absolutely. This is the narrow setting, the DX setting here, so 1, And this is the wide range, the more higher fidelity, supposedly from Heil, which I don't know, who knows. Anyway, that's the setting, that's the wide range, and then ready. There's the setting at the narrow range, the DX is a little bit more punch. Go ahead.
Roger, Randy. Well, it's just as I know, a well-rounded equalized microphone is going to outperform something that does not have the full range of frequencies involved. You sound like to me about twice as loud when you go from your nice broad front to that upper register equalization situation. It's just louder. Now you'll have to prove that to my benefit that I'm correct. The next pile-up you get, just stay in your broad frequency range and see if that doesn't cut through. Roger?
Frequency range and see if that doesn't cut through. Roger?
Okay, so you're saying the wide setting on the microphone is louder than the narrow setting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Now, we are recording this, and I want you to go to YouTube and do a call it a search, Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, along with today's date, 10/29/21, and I want you to listen to this and see what you think. All right, I want you to do that 5 count again, or 10 count again, and at 5, switch from the one to the other. Roger?
Yeah, 10 count again, and at 5, switch from the one to the other. Roger?
This is the narrow setting on the microphone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the wide setting on the microphone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1.
Roger. Well, you be the judge. We'll have this posted sometime tomorrow, probably around noontime, but might be in the afternoon. But it'd be something for you to give a listen to and think about. If the microphone has full frequency ranges, it will cut. It will cut better than something that you've just got half of the audio spectrum in there, Roger.
Something that you've just got half of the audio spectrum in there, Roger.
Okay, all right. Well, that's very interesting. I actually give it some on-the-air tryout this weekend too with the contest, and see if I can break through some of the pile-ups with my little 100 watts and see how it goes. Anyway, I did not write down your name. What was your name again?
The name here is Jim, Juliet, India Mike. And again, the call is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. And if you go to YouTube, just do the search for that call with the date 10/29/21 behind it, and that will take you to this recording. And I think you'll see what I'm talking about.
Take you to this recording, and I think you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay, all right, perfect, Jim. Well, I appreciate the help, and you have a good evening. I'll let you go, make a few more contacts, and I'll work on a couple of projects I have to get done here before try to tackle a little bit of the contest tonight. So 73, and thanks for the help. Now look for the audio recording tomorrow. KC9VKV from Kilo Charlie 9, Lima Charlie.
Roger, Randy. 73, sir. Have a good afternoon, a beautiful weekend. And incidentally, I'm listening to a monitor system that's full range from 100 cycles on up. So your experience may vary because usually transceiver audio is not. There's not enough cubes in that box to reproduce 100 cycles, but that's what the range is that we're talking about. Also, you want to be sure and be running in that 100 to 2900 band pass. 100 to 2900 band pass. That's the only way to really run that radio, Roger.
100 to 2900 band pass. That's the only way to really run that radio, Roger.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. It's been a while since I've messed with it. 100 to 2900 band pass. Okay, thank you.
Roger, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
In QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo, Oscar 4, India, Uniform, Kilo.
Kilo Oscar 4 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Oscar 4 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Oscar 4, India, Uniform Kilo.
India Uniform Kilo, Roger, Roger. Okay, I've got you in the Fortland. What's the name there?
Kilo, Roger, Roger. Okay, I've got you in the Fortland. What's the name there?
Come back with those again, please.
India Uniform Kilo, what is your name, sir?
India Uniform Kilo, what is your name, sir?
The name here is Gerson. It's Golf, Echo, Romeo, Sierra, Oscar, November.
That's Gerson, is that a Roger?
That's Gerson, is that a Roger?
Roger that.
Yes, sir. And where are you located and what radio are you running, sir?
Yes, sir. And where are you located and what radio are you running, sir?
I am located in Alexandria, Virginia, and I'm running a Kenwood TS590SG.
All right, Gerson, if you would, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, Roger?
10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, Roger.
Hello, Gerson, do you copy KC9VKV?
Hello, Gerson, do you copy KC9VKV?
NFED long wire. Back to you.
Yes, sir, we doubled over part of that, Gerson. I didn't know if you could copy me or not. There was a delay in your response. Anyway, give me another 10 seconds and tell me about your radio and what you like best about it.
About your radio and what you like best about it.
Gerson, this is KC9VKV. Can you copy me okay?
Gerson, this is KC9VKV. Can you copy me okay?
Sound. There's not a lot of menus. There's a lot of buttons to push and knobs to twirl. And it just seems to get the job done. And that's really my favorite thing about the radio. Is the menu system is very limited. And most of what I need to do is right on the front of the radio. Back to you.
Roger, Gerson. Now, I noticed that there's quite a delay from the time I ask you a question to you respond. Are you using a SDR to copy me?
Do you respond? Are you using a SDR to copy me?
No, I'm not. No, I'm just I'm just giving myself a few minutes to think. That's all. A few seconds to think. That's about it. Back to you.
Okay, Gerson. As long as I know what's going on, sir, that's great. I just was curious because, I use a SDR to copy, and when you get two SDRs involved, you have double the latency, and pretty soon it's an hour and a half long for a 3-word conversation. But anyway, so we've, got a handle on it now, sir, and I applaud you for thinking about what you're saying. I talk so much I don't probably think enough. Anyway, I'm trying to get a handle on your audio, but this jammer is driving me nuts. I don't know why this sucker's in there. What is the percentage of what do they get out of it?
What is the percentage of what do they get out of it?
Who knows? I mean, I don't hear anything on. The only problem I have is from different sources, and that's about it. But different sources, and that's about it. But I've never really run into anybody doing that. But it's just people with a lot of time on their hands and nothing else to do but just make problems for other people. Back to you.
Roger, Roger, Gerson. Well, I've been listening to your audio as best I can, and what I'd like for you to try to do is, if you know where your EQ is, if you could punch up your treble EQ, a couple of clicks, boost treble EQ from where it is at the moment, Roger?
Couple of clicks, boost treble EQ from where it is at the moment, Roger?
Well, why don't we do this? Right now, I'm running without the processor on. Let me turn the processor on and see what you think about the audio after I do that. Back to you.
All right, why don't we just go through the setup procedure, and then we'll leave the EQ for the last, which is normally what I do. So I suggest you engage your compressor at a 3. 3 out of 30, 3 out of 10, a 30 out of 100. We just want a third of its capabilities. So 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Compressor on, Roger?
3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Compressor on, Roger?
Roger that. I just got to find that. That is actually in the menu that I just have to find. Back to you.
Roger, Roger. Well, gosh, I could give you some notes if you would prefer that. Then you could do that at your leisure.
I could give you some notes if you would prefer that. Then you could do that at your leisure.
Sure, go right ahead.
I mean, if you know where everything is, we could go ahead. But if, I don't want you to feel pressure about trying to find things, Roger.
But if, I don't want you to feel pressure about trying to find things, Roger.
Roger that.
So you tell me what you want to do. You want notes, or you want to try to find the stuff?
So you tell me what you want to do. You want notes, or you want to try to find the stuff?
Probably best just to take some notes, and then I'll go from there.
Sounds good. All right, Gerson. First starts with the compressor engaged at a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Compressor on, 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Once you get the compressor going, move to your ALC with the mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your ALC to run mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain manipulation. And you need to speak fairly quickly, 100, 200, 300, as you're looking at your ALC meter, because you need to see it reading, and if you do 1, 2, 3, the meter falls down between the words, and you never can get an accurate reading. So you want to go 100, 200, 300 as you adjust the mic gain for that meter, ALC meter, to run mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
For that meter, ALC meter, to run mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Hi, Roger that. Yeah, I think I have done that, but I might need a little tweaking anyways. Back to you.
Yes, sir, and I'm monitoring you on the Arlington, Virginia SDR, and it has one of the few SDRs that has full frequency range. So you have a good bottom end. You need just a little more top. So I would say punch up 3 clicks, treble EQ boost from where it is. Do you know if that's a 3-band, 2-band, or what kind of equalization that radio runs?
Do you know if that's a 3-band, 2-band, or what kind of equalization that radio runs?
I believe it has 3 bands of equalization.
All right, Gerson, I want you to, if it's 3 bands, I want that center band to be flat. The center band EQ should always be flat. The idea is EQ is a top to mid-range balance and a bottom to mid-range balance, and if you boost the mid-range, it's so much more difficult for the top to reach balance and the bottom to reach balance. So we want that mid-range EQ flat. And then we want the treble boost by 3 clicks, additional EQ push from wherever you are at the moment. Roger?
EQ push from wherever you are at the moment. Roger?
I roger that. Yeah, I will try that.
Roger, and that should take care of the problem. And if you could join us next Friday, we'd love to have you and see what all those numbers sound like. Roger?
We'd love to have you and see what all those numbers sound like. Roger?
I roger that. Yeah, I will make the adjustments. The other thing is I am not running the stock microphone. I'm running a Heil 781 with this. Back to you.
Yes, sir, I'm listening to you. You could be running a piece of barbed wire. It doesn't make any difference. It's what I'm hearing, you know, and that's what I'm making these decisions on. Is the microphone that you're using at the moment, Roger?
Decisions on is the microphone that you're using at the moment, Roger.
I roger that. Yep, back to you.
Roger, Roger. Well, I think we're done. If you got the notes, you can crank them in there at your leisure, find things, and then dial them up, and then join us next Friday. I'd love to hear that, Roger.
Then join us next Friday. I'd love to hear that, Roger.
Roger, will do. I'll make a note about this time to join you next Friday. Back to you.
Sounds good, Gerson. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. And this is KC9VKV. We'll catch you later.
And this is KC9VKV. We'll catch you later.
73 to you. You have a great weekend yourself. Kilo Oscar 4, India Uniform Kilo.
Roger, Roger. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Sounding good, Jim. Sounding good.
I heard a couple of stations back in there. I'm going to go to my local antenna and my dipole antenna on my local radio and see what we got there. This is KC9VKV. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November X-ray 2, India, India.
I copy November X-ray 2. If you could come back with the total call sign slowly, phonetically, I'd appreciate it.
If you could come back with the total call sign slowly, phonetically, I'd appreciate it.
November X-ray 2, India, India.
Copy 2 India, India. Is that a Roger?
Copy 2 India, India. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
Alrighty, sir. And what's the name there and what radio are you running?
Alrighty, sir. And what's the name there and what radio are you running?
Okay, the name is Bill, and I am running a brand new Yeezy 991 Alpha. I've already set the ALC, and I've got to crank the book open. I got next week for you, but otherwise, how does it sound?
Roger, still trying to find you, sir. I'm not copying you too well. I'm not copying you at all on my local antennas, so I'm into the SDRs, and probably copying you best on the Georgia SDR. What is your location, sir?
The Georgia SDR. What is your location, sir?
Deal, Maryland. It's Maryland, near Annapolis.
Roger, Maryland. All right, I'm copying you best now, believe it or not, on the Georgia SDR. So, if you would, why don't you give me about 10 to 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, Roger?
10 to 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, Roger.
Okay, very good. I've got a MTEG, let's see, Maple Leaf Studios antenna, and it slopes up to a very good antenna. I also talked to you several months ago with the bit with it. I also talked to you several months ago with the 7300 and got that one set up. This radio is a little different and it's got a lot more menus, and I'm going to have to hit the book this morning or this weekend and check it out. NX2II, back to you. KC9VKV.
Roger, Roger. Bill, I'm trying to get over to my Milford SDR. That Milford does a great job usually. If just keeping it going is the problem. It has so many rules and regulations that I can get about 20 minutes out of it, and then it kicks me off. But I'm back on that. So why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about the thing you like best about your radio?
About 10 seconds and tell me about the thing you like best about your radio.
Overall, it just completes the set I've got. I've got the 7300 and the 991, and I also like the VHF, UHF capable. I like the VHF, UHF effect of this radio.
Roger. Well, I'm having to copy you through Milford, and that's the one that's generating the QRM, that area. So the QMS QRM station is towards Milford, Pennsylvania, and if I probably took enough time, I could probably zero in pretty close. But anyway, I'm hearing your audio as best I can. I think you need a few more clicks, top-end boost, treble EQ. So if you would like, we could review the total setup. It starts with your compressor being engaged at a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Roger? 30
out of 100, Roger.
Yeah, I've already done that, and I set the L. And like I said, whatever we're missing at this point, just let me know what I need to do, and I'll call you next week on it if we don't have the QRM.
Yeah, Roger. Looks good. Looked about a 3 dB dynamic range, which is what we're looking for there. So that part is set up there, just as your EQ. Do you know what your EQ page is at the moment that you could go there?
Parametric equalizer on this radio. They got about 3 or 4 different selections, and I guess I'm going to have to work with that with a buddy and see how that works out. Have you worked with the 991 before?
Well, I think what we could do is just leave the band pass of each EQ the same, the parametric setting part of it. Just leave that where it is and just go for a boost on the top end in general. Is that an 8-band or 3-band parametric?
3-band parametric.
It's a 3-band parametric equalizer, and there's about 3 or 4 selections on the menu. I was going to mess with that this weekend. With another station.
Roger, my thought would be plus 3 clicks top end boost. You just need a little more articulation in the top end. Roger.
You just need a little more articulation in the top end. Roger.
Roger. Understood. What do you mean by top end boost? Just clarify.
Treble equalization somewhere around 2.5, 2.7, down to 2.2 depending, but top end, Roger.
0.2 depending, but top end, Roger.
Roger, very good. I'll give you a try next week, and maybe this idiot won't be around.
Yeah, Roger. I would say 2.5K plus 3 clicks from where you are. 2.5K plus 3 clicks from where you are. Boost, Roger.
2.5K plus 3 clicks from where you are. Boost, Roger.
Very good. 2.5K, 3 clicks from where I am. And X2II.
That's a Roger. So, gosh, Bill, I appreciate you dropping by, sir. And like I say, if you get a chance to join us next Friday, we'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilowatt 5, Echo, Bravo, Romeo. Kilowatt 5, Echo, November Radio 4 Delta, mobile.
Kilowatt 5 station. Come back slowly, phonetically with the call sign. Kilowatt 5 station.
Come back slowly, phonetically with the call sign. Kilowatt 5 station.
Echo Bravo Romeo, is that a Roger?
Echo Bravo Romeo, is that a Roger?
QSO.
All right, and what's the name there? What is the name?
All right, and what's the name there? What is the name?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
copying the name as Chad. Chad, is that a Roger?
I'm copying the name as Chad. Chad, is that a Roger?
All right, Chad, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
All right, Chad, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Roger, Chad. Now, let me see if I can get over to my local antenna. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, Roger?
About 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, Roger.
All right, just now, just back in the air.
Yeah, Chad, I lost you, I guess, good buddy. That buzzsaw is coming out of the Pennsylvania area. Definitely coming out of the Pennsylvania area. If anybody wants to check that out, Pennsylvania area as far as I can tell. And try, let me see if I can find you there, Roger.
Let me see if I can find you there, Roger.
Chad, I have lost you, sir. Conditions have changed or whatever. I'm not real sure, but I no longer can copy you. We'll try it one more time, and let me see if I can pick you up, Chad.
One more time, and let me see if I can pick you up, Chad.
I copied somebody on the Georgia SDR. I'm not sure if that was you. Chad, if that was you, come back with your call sign.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was you. Chad, if that was you, come back with your call sign.
Sorry, Chad. I can't pick you up, buddy. Mother Nature has reversed her her plugs, I guess, and I no longer have a copy on you. So let me say 73. Maybe we can do that next Friday. Check in next Friday, and we'll see what kind of conditions we have prevailing at that point. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 4 Alpha Alpha November.
Okay, station, Whiskey 4 station, come back slowly, phonetically with the call sign.
Okay, station, Whiskey 4 station, come back slowly, phonetically with the call sign.
Roger, it's Whiskey 4 Alpha Alpha November, Aaron in Tennessee, over.
Roger, Alpha Alpha. What is the last thing on your call sign?
Alpha. What is the last thing on your call sign?
November, over.
Yes, it's starting to be sloppy handwriting time at 20 minutes till 5. Anyway, the name is what, please?
5. The name is what, please?
Name is Aaron, Alpha Alpha, Romeo, Oscar, November, over.
Roger, Aaron, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Aaron, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Clarksville, Tennessee, over.
Roger, Tennessee, and what radio are you running?
Roger, Tennessee, and what radio are you running?
Yeah, I'm working on Flex 6400. We were running this thing remote yesterday. Somebody said they heard a loud hum in it, and I want to make sure that it was the remote, not the radio itself, over.
Audio sounds clean to me, sir. No hum, for sure, Roger.
Audio sounds clean to me, sir. No hum, for sure, Roger.
Yeah, we were... people were talking to they heard a god-awful hum in it, and I just want to make sure it wasn't the radio. I've had this radio for about 3 years. I've never really used it. I took it down off the shelf, put it in service about 3 days ago. Over.
Roger that. I've got you on my local antenna now, but for some reason my spectrum analyzer has decided to shut down. It's the first time that's done that. I'm not sure exactly why, but I'll have to investigate that. Anyway, if you would now, why don't you tell me about the thing you like best about your radio, Roger?
Well, I haven't really figured this one out. Like I said, I've only played with it for a couple of days, and the menu on the right-hand side is kind of confusing, but I'm working through it. I normally use an old Icom IC751A. I love that radio. But like I said, I decided to drag this thing out of mothballs and put it to work. So far I'm liking it if I can ever figure out the menus and everything that it does. Over.
Roger, Roger. Well, listening to your audio, I think you could probably use a little bit more bottom end, maybe about, let's do the setup procedure if you would like to do that. Starts with your compressor engaged at a 3. Compressor engaged at a 3, Roger?
Yeah, it doesn't work that way in here. We've basically got normal, DX, and DX plus, so I'm down on normal. Over.
Yes, sir, that's the one you want to be on. And then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust the ALC for mid-scale to 2/3, Roger?
Yeah, Roger, stand by. Yeah, how's that sound? Is that any better or is that a little too much?
Why don't you tell me, what's it look like on your ALC, sir?
Yeah, right now it's basically right at about a 9, over.
Roger, a 9 out of 10?
Roger, Roger.
I would make that an 8 out of 10, Roger.
Is that any better? That's down a little bit lower.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm looking for 3 dB dynamic range. 3 dB dynamic range, which means that your average percent of peak modulation would then be 80 to 85%, Roger?
Contact.
Roger. Like I said, this thing has got so many bells and whistles on it, it'll probably take me a year to figure them all out. Over.
Roger. As a contact station, stand by just a moment, contact station. On your EQ, you could use a little more bottom end there, sir. Maybe plus 2 clicks on 200 cycles, plus 200 cycles or somewhere in there. What kind of EQ do you have on that radio?
Say again, over.
What type of equalization do you have on that radio? Is it a 3-band or 8-band or what?
Yeah, it's an 8-band, over.
All right. We're looking at 200 cycles plus 2 clicks at 200 cycles, Roger?
Okay, it's got 250. Stand by.
Close enough.
Now, is that any better?
Yeah, make that one more click. Make it a total of 3 clicks boost from where you were.
Okay, we're at 3, over.
Yes, sir. That's a lot fuller, Roger. Before it was just all upper mids, Roger.
Roger. So it sounds pretty good now, huh?
Yes, sir. I would give it my duct tape approval.
Yeah, well, you don't have to use duct tape for this thing, that's for sure.
Well, failing duct tape, there's always Gorilla Tape or super glue, whichever you need.
Yeah, with this thing, Band-Aids and baling wire and bubble gum won't work with as sophisticated as this thing is. Like I said, I've had this thing for about 3 years. I've never really used it, over.
Yes, sir. Sometimes you just have to kick it hard, get its attention,
Yeah, like I said, I put it up on the shelf. I bought it. Well, I didn't buy it. My kids bought it for me after my wife passed away, and I never really used it. And like I said, here, in the last few days, we took it down and decided to put some electricity to it, over.
Roger, Roger. Now, did you just do it all at once, or did you bring it up very slowly with a Variac or something?
No, we plugged it in, and we turned it on, made a couple of contacts with it. Most people said it sounded fine, and really was interested in trying to see how it worked remotely, and once we took it out remotely, that's when we started to have issues with it, over.
Yeah, not a problem, sir. It sounds beautiful, so it's in your remote situation. So, Aaron, let me say 73 to you, sir. Thanks for dropping by, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, Roger, I appreciate it. Like I said, I just want to make sure this thing didn't have the hum in it, and it was something we were doing remotely. And I appreciate your time. Whiskey 4 Alpha Alpha November.
Roger, Roger, Aaron 73. Contact station, go ahead.
Good evening, sir. My name is Bob Baker, Oscar Baker, out of Columbia, South Carolina. And I've got you on a vertical here, and how do you copy? Go ahead.
Well, it just depends on where I am. I have 4 internet SDR receivers that I can go through. I have 3 10-foot vertical magnetic loops I can go through. I just need a little signal to be able to check out things. They're all on rotary switches, so I can check them out in about 10 seconds. So why don't you tell me about your antenna system, and I'll see what I can find. Roger?
You know, I don't know about my antenna system. I've got a GP1040, which is a vertical elevated radial, and I guess that's the do-all end-all for some antennas. Doesn't do it for me, but it seems to be doing something. And then there's an EA7V up there from DX Engineering. It's funny about that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And it's the same setting, so I don't know. Anyhow, my name is still Bob in Columbia, South Carolina. Who are you and where are you, sir?
Name here is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike, KC9VKV. This is the QSO-VLOG net. We're located centrally around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky, home of fast women and beautiful horses.
Yep, I've never been to Louisville, but I was spent 3 years in Lexington, which is in its backyards, I guess. I don't know. Jim, you retired or you're working?
Well, we're working. Right now we're doing setups for folks' transmitters. If you'd be interested, our setup is generic. Starts with the compressor in line at a 3, a token amount, but it does exactly what we need it to do to arrive at a 3 dB dynamic range with an average of 80 to 85% average peak modulation. Roger?
Well, that's pretty good, I would say. Jim, my problem is I'm trying to get up a hex beam, and I cannot find anybody that will help me. I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm talking 6 months on the internet trying to find somebody. Last guy came out, he seemed like he knew what he was doing, never called me back, so I'm working on that. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Well, you know, there's always the tree trimmers. You know, find you aspiring tree trimmer that wants to make a few bucks on the side. Roger, Roger?
You know, I never thought of tree trimmers. That's because they got a bucket?
Well, they have a bucket, and they also have an interest in climbing. You know, one way or the other, they would probably be interested if the greenbacks were of equivalent financial reward. Roger? So
what's a fair amount? 500? Go ahead.
I would start at 100. It just depends on if they're in the neighborhood. That's when the price gets right. Roger?
You know, I would probably do that too, but I had this guy out here for 1,000, and he's been picking them up all his life, and you know, I thought that was a very good amount, but he never called me back. So, you know, but tree trimming is a good idea. Yeah, I'll get back with him. Thank you very much, Jimmy. It's another area to try. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I found $100 worked well for a gentleman to come about half a block away from where he was after he finished. Brought his little jobber, looked like a ditch witch, except it had big outreach arms, and he came up, and in 15 minutes he had the machine set up, and he was up the tower in the bucket. It took him, I explained what he had to do, and it took him about 90 seconds to do that, and he was down, and my Yagi antenna was swung about 30 degrees to the north, and just worked out perfect.
Well, what's your opinion on using the flagpole for the push-up rod? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, repeat?
How does the flagpole work instead of the push-up rod?
It works all right. Just depends on if it's insulated at the base, you know. That's the whole thing, unless you're just using it as a support device for, you know, a dipole antenna or something.
Well, it's down on the ground now. I thought I'd just put it in 4 or 5 foot of concrete in a hole, you know. as far as insulation, I wasn't going to do anything. Go ahead.
Well, it gets tricky then to load it, because you're running a grounded antenna at the base, so you have to go up and make your connection up higher on the tower. You can't drop it from the bottom because that's being shorted to ground, so to speak.
Okay, well, the Hexing's going to have a grounded side on it, isn't it?
I'm not really familiar with that, sir. I thought you were talking about a vertical radiator.
I've been through too much stuff lately, I don't even know.
But it's the coax that beats the hexing, so one side I would think of the coax would be at ground potential, and then go from there.
Roger, Bob. Well, hey, Eureka, I found you down in Georgia. I found an SDR down in Georgia that's far enough away from PA that the jammer is not affecting you. So you really sound nice down in Georgia, Roger.
Affecting you, so you really sound nice down in Georgia, Roger.
Okay, I don't know what you mean. I'm at 7.188, and I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. Go ahead.
Roger, Bob. Well, do you know what Internet SDR receivers are? Have you heard of those?
Internet SDR receivers are? Have you heard of those?
No, I can't say as though I have. I've got an SDR here, an FTGX 3000. But, God, I think I'd sooner go back to the old heat kit. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, Internet SDR receivers are receivers that are located around the country that you can acquire their signals through the Internet. And then, so you're listening from that point of view, not yours. You're listening to the remote Internet SDR locations receiver. And I usually run with 4 of those. I have 4 Amazon Fire tablets in front of me, and each one of those is dialed up to a different Internet SDR receiver. One's in New York, one's in Georgia, one's in Pennsylvania, and one's in Virginia. So I have these 4 Internet SDRs that I can sample. The audio from those Internet SDR receivers, and they're just Fire tablets, comes to a 6-position rotary selector. So I can go through those audio outputs, and my local receiver audio is on that rotary switch also. So within second half, 2 seconds, I can run through 5 different input sources for the cleanest signal. Roger?
Input sources for cleanest signal. Roger?
Well, you're certainly clean here, Jim. Am I coming to you from an SDR receiver?
Yes, sir. I've got you on Georgia SDR. The jammer's up around Pennsylvania. So I'm downriver from him, down in Georgia, and you're perfect down there, Roger. No jammer at all.
Down in Georgia, and you're perfect down there, Roger. No jammer at all.
Okay, that's a new term to me. What's a jammer?
Well, the jammer is a QRMer. A QRMer is a psychopath.
It's a QRMer. A QRMer is a psychopath.
Well, that's kind of what I thought, too. But, Jim, I've been licensed since 62 and just getting back into it. And, man, it sure has changed a lot. I just don't know. I've got the 7.188, and as long as you hold up, that's probably where I'm going to stay. Let's see what that puppy putting out there. Probably just about 1,500 watts here. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger, Bob. Well, you have the capabilities of Sally Forth. And so when you have that capability, you can bypass problems because your signal just is everywhere. So if anybody, has an SDR capability, they can go somewhere else other than where the jammer is and hear you just fine, It's just the folks around the inconsiderate QRMer that have the problem,
Considerate QRMer that have the problem,
Yeah, I'm familiar with those QRP quackers or whatever they're called. 7.2's got a bunch of stuff on it. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Now you're talking. Don't say that word around here, Rajesh. That's a voided word around here.
Don't say that word around here, Rajesh. That's a voided word around here.
What's that, 7.2?
Yes, sir. No, I didn't hear what you said.
Yes, sir. No, I didn't hear what you said.
No, I've tuned in on 7.2, and I can't believe what's going on there at QSL.
Well, just look at it this way. They are there, so we know where they are, and they're not elsewhere. So as long as that's the case, they can do what they need to do on 7200, and that's just beautiful.
To do on 7200, and that's just beautiful.
Yeah, as long as they don't go anywhere. I'm only concerned with the little kids are hearing that stuff, you know?
Roger there, Bob. But anyway, your radio, usually we do transmitter setups, and that's what the QSO-VLOG net is all about. I've been looking at your signal. I'm looking at your audio on a VU meter that tells me a great deal about your dynamic range. And you have a nice dynamic range, somewhere around 3 dB, which is nice. Because your average unprocessed audio is about 10 dB. With that would mean that the average percent of modulation, average modulation would be 30%. So at 3 dB dynamic range, the average percent of modulation is 80 to 85%. So you're almost twice as loud as unprocessed, Roger.
So you're almost twice as loud as unprocessed, Roger.
Okay, well, this is an FTDX 3000, and it's flat right out of the box, so I didn't mess with any transmitter settings. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, you're lucky because, is that a stock mic that you're running?
You're lucky because, is that a stock mic that you're running?
Got the Yazoo $200 microphone.
Roger. Well, anytime you put a microphone on a radio, you need to always check your ALC to be sure that you're running mid-scale to 2/3. All mics are not created equal, so they're different volumes, different level outputs, so you need to make sure that your mic is running mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC when you put a new mic on, Roger?
Put a 2/3 on your ALC when you put a new mic on, Roger?
I've got that 2/3. Okay, I can do that. Now, I'll tell you a story about microphones. The Electro Voice 210, you familiar with that one?
Not really, but Electro Voice has got a lot of different microphones. Is this a dynamic microphone?
Voice has got a lot of different microphones. Is this a dynamic microphone?
Yeah, it would be dynamic as I remember it. Anyhow, I worked in a vocational center, and the kid asked me, he says, how is that microphone? I said, you can beat nails with that microphone. It's so good. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I missed the punchline. Can you give me that again?
I'm sorry, I missed the punchline. Can you give me that again?
The kid asked how good that microphone was. I said that RE10 is so good you can beat nails with it. Got it?
Got it, sir. Now, I would advise, listening to your signal, if you get a chance to check your equalization page, I would increase your treble EQ by 3 clicks. 3 clicks boost treble EQ just for added intelligibility and articulation. Roger?
Just for added intelligibility and articulation. Roger?
Okay. Well, the shop teacher called up and said, I got a kid down here with one of your microphones building a birdhouse with it. So, we took that mic off at QSO.
Yeah, Roger. Well, gosh, I'm a condenser man myself. This is a homebrew condenser microphone into an ART preamp. I really like condenser mics from the standpoint of the ability to capture articulation very readily without having to do immense EQing. That's the thing about electret microphone over dynamic microphone, Roger.
The thing about electret microphone over a dynamic microphone, Roger?
Well, I guess, I don't know. I've got the microphone that came from Yazoo, and I don't know if it's dynamic microphone or what, but go ahead.
Roger. Well, it's sounding good. Like I said, you could use just a little more top end if you get a chance. But anyway, Bob, I appreciate you dropping by, sir.
You get a chance. But anyway, Bob, I appreciate you dropping by, sir.
All right, sir. I'll let you go and see what other things I can cause. Thank you very much, Tim. God bless in 73.
Roger, Bob. Come back one more time slowly, phonetically, with your call sign, please.
Roger, Bob. Come back one more time slowly, phonetically, with your call sign, please.
Okay, the call sign is November, India, 8, Alpha. Go ahead, copy.
November, India, 8, Alpha. Is that a Roger?
November, India, 8, Alpha. Is that a Roger?
QSL, that's a Roger, Jim.
Roger, Bob. Well, 73, sir, and we're on the QSO-VLOG net every Friday afternoon between 3:30 and 5, and we'd love to have you drop by, Roger.
Between 3:30 and 5, and we'd love to have you drop by, Roger.
All right, so this is coming up on, let's see, this is Friday today, isn't it? Yeah, so we got your marked on a book. We'll be looking for you later.
Sounds good, Bob. All right, let me say 73 to you, sir, and you have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. And, gosh, it's I see by the clock on the wall a dead fly. It's an old story, but it just might work. It's 1 minute past 5, so we got to get out of here. If you have enjoyed joining us and would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, along with today's date, 10/29/21, that will take you to this recording. That is a YouTube search for KC9VKV, along with today's date, 10/29/21, take you to this recording. If you go to YouTube and just do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where we're running about 1,900 recorded QSO-VLOGs, something for everyone. You can browse through and check and say, hey, I like his audio, I don't like his, I like mine better than his. It's all about options. So again, KC9VKV general search on YouTube will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. So with that, we will be jumping out of here and returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, clear.